Hi everybody, this is Katje. Welcome again to my YouTube channel. I want to start out this evening by modeling for you briefly this new dress I bought. This is from Cotton On. This is a store that I have not shopped in previously, but as you can see it's kind of a tiger stripe dress. I'm wearing it with my black strap high heels, black hose. I also have my Kate Spade purse as an accessory. I have a couple of black arm bracelets on, and I have this black beaded necklace to complete the ensemble. So let me just model that for you. Let me do a turn here so that you can get the full effect. And as you can see, it's kind of a retro new wave tiger striped outfit, and it's very versatile. It should go with a lot of different things. So this way you can get the entire effect. And it was very reasonably priced, so I look forward to going back to Cotton On and maybe shopping there again. There was a very good selection, and it was a lot of, the sales girl was very helpful. So let me just give you the back side of that so that you can see how that looks. And that's that. Now, what I want to do tonight is finish the rest of the story that I was reading to you last time. I read the first part, and as you'll recall, this is a story that I wrote for a young student that I worked with last year in the Reading Seeds volunteer program at a local elementary school, where we helped the young people improve their reading. And Amelia was the student's name. So I asked him to give me basically the setting that he wanted to have the story take place in, and also what kind of characters did he want, what kind of story. And after he gave me that information, as you'll recall, I then went home and wrote the story, and then we read it together, and he seemed to enjoy it. So what I want to do tonight is just pick up where I left off and read the rest of the story. Remember, it's called Mirrorland. It's set in Alaska. And it has to do with two twins, a pair of boys, whose father has married a new wife who's an evil stepmother who's actually a witch. So you can remember that that's what the story is about. And in where we left off, one of the twins, Kyle, was following his brother Ryan, who seems to have the magical ability to transform himself into a seal. So Kyle was following his brother Kyle, or going to where his brother, Kyle was following Ryan around the side of the lake to where Ryan was on the other side by a campfire. And let me just read the last part of that for you, and then I'll read the rest of the story. So let's just pick up where we left off. Kyle had walked for about 50 yards when a giant Kodiak bear came out from behind a bush and stood right in front of him. Before Kyle could run away, the bear started talking. It said it would eat Kyle unless he solved a riddle. The riddle was this: although I wear no shoes and run over many miles of mud, sand, and slime, my many feet never get dirty. What am I? Kyle thought and thought, but couldn't come up with the answer. Just as the Kodiak bear was about to pounce on him, he recalled his father once telling him he had to swim across a river that was more than 100 feet deep. A deep river, Kyle cried out. Its many feet have no shoes, run over miles of mud, sand, and slime, but never get dirty. The Kodiak bear nodded and went back behind the bush. Kyle continued walking on the path to the other side of the lake. After he'd gone on for another quarter mile or so, a fierce timber wolf leaped out of the forest into the middle of the path to confront him. The wolf could also talk. It said that unless Kyle solved another riddle, it would tear his throat open. The riddle was this: when the sun shines brighter, I get darker while you get lighter, even though I am right beside you. What am I? For the second time, Kyle racked his brains, trying to guess the answer. As the timber wolf was ready to spring on him or jump on him, the memory of a spring day when he and his father were cleaning fish traps came back to him. When the sun had come out from behind a thin cloud, the pale shadows they cast on the ground grew much darker. "My shadow," Kyle shouted. "It's right beside me. When the sun is weak, my shadow is pale. When the sun shines brighter, I get lighter, but my shadow gets darker." The timber wolf growled a little, then backed away and slunk away into the woods. Kyle continued walking. Just as he was about to reach the campfire, a giant humanoid creature, covered from head to toe in thick brown fur, reared up right in front of him. It was Kushtaka, the Inuit people's word for Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Like the Kodiak bear and the timber wolf before him, Kushtaka could speak. The monster said that it would grab Kyle's arms and legs and tear him apart if he didn't answer the third and final riddle. "The longer you follow me, the more I fall behind you. When you get to where I'm going, I'm already gone. What am I?" I'll just adjust my screen again. Okay, so that was the third riddle. Even though the temperature was well below zero, Kyle was sweating. He had no idea how to answer the third riddle. He tried to remember something his father had said or done that might give him a hint, but nothing came to mind. The boy stared down at his feet, ready to die. Then all at once the answer popped into his head. "A path," Kyle yelled. "The more I walk on it, the farther it stretches behind me. And when I reach the end of the path, it isn't there anymore." Kushtaka gently patted Kyle's head to congratulate him and lumbered off. Kyle ran the rest of the way to the campfire. He saw the green-eyed seal lying beside it, gnawing on a juicy fish he caught. The seal barked at Kyle, flipped over, and came back up in the normal form of Ryan. Ryan pointed to a flat rock beside him on which lay a silver key. Ryan explained that while he was swimming as a seal along the bottom of the lake, he had seen the key glinting in the moonlight, sucked the key into his mouth without swallowing it, and brought the key to the surface where he laid it on the flat rock. With trembling hands, Kyle took the witch's box out of his coat pocket. Ryan fit the silver key into the lock, and they were able to unlock the box. Inside was a piece of paper. Kyle lifted the paper out of the box so they could look at it in the firelight. On one side was a pencil drawing of the woman their father had married. On the other side was a message written in cursive letters. "Burn this side, now burn the other. Bye-bye, wicked witch, so long, evil stepmother." Kyle glanced at Ryan, who quickly took the piece of paper from him and tossed it into the flames. Immediately, the twins heard a horrible scream far away on the other side of the lake. I'm sorry, I have to keep adjusting my screen a little bit. Shaking with fear, they waited until daybreak to make their way back to the cabin. They found the front door standing wide open in the morning sunlight. No one answered when they called. Inside, beside the fireplace, was a pile of smoldering ashes with their stepmother's earrings, necklace, and wedding band in it. The twins realized they'd heard the witch screaming as she and the piece of paper with her picture on it burned up at the same time. In the loft, all her dresses, furs, and shoes had also burned, leaving smaller ash piles on the floor. Nothing else in the cabin had been harmed. Kyle and Ryan swept up the ashes and dumped them outside in the snow, then shut the door. They were very hungry. After they had eaten some smoke-cured ham and pickles stored in the pantry, the twins sat at the dining table, drinking hot coffee and thinking about what they should do next. Their father was still gone. Maybe the witch had cast a spell on him so that he would get lost. Even though it was winter and they were all alone, they agreed they had to find him if he was still alive. They had to rescue him. The only question was how. And so that's the end of the story. And I remember that Emilio and I worked a little bit on the sequel to that, where the twins go to try to find the father. And we didn't finish that story because we reached the end of the school year before we could finish it. I still have that somewhere on my computer. But in any event, he really enjoyed that, and I certainly enjoyed writing the story, composing it for him. Like I said, he probably was the most talented reader that I have had among the students that I've coached. So basically, it was a real challenge to come up with something that would help him be even more successful, to improve his already substantial reading ability. It was kind of a challenge to come up with something new to help him do that, but he really seemed to enjoy that story, and he also liked reading books about cars and airplanes, warfare, things of that sort. It's kind of typical, boy stuff when you're like 11 or 12. He enjoyed that, so he was reading at adult level. So I was very pleased to work with him and the other children. I had many from 2nd grade on up to 5th grade. And so that's what I wanted to do tonight, just share the rest of that story with you. Again, here's this outfit, my tiger stripe, or tiger girl outfit. And also, I forgot to mention, it has this really cute little sash that you can either tie or you can leave it undone. You can tie it in the back. I've decided to bring it around the front and tie it in a loose knot. But there are a lot of different things that you can do with this outfit. And I was very happy to find it again. I look forward to shopping at Cotton On again in the near future. So let me just show you one more time. You can see that it has a really nice length. And it will help to accentuate your curves. If you're cross-dressing, that's a helpful thing to have. It should accentuate that. Often horizontal stripes will do that. If you have some curves around here and in the back area, horizontal stripes tend to accentuate that because they elongate the body in the way that makes that stand out. So in any event, that's what I wanted to do tonight. Thank you for joining me. And until next time, this is Katje Eckhart. As always, I wish everybody a restful, a peaceful, and a relaxing good night. I hope everybody's having a good summer, and I look forward to talking to you next time. Thank you for joining me. Until then, this is Katje Eckhart again, saying goodbye.